Imagine this: no credit card payments, no looming bills, no car payments, just freedom. The type of freedom that allows you to sleep peacefully at night. The type of freedom that allows you to be around your family and friends without worrying about money, without worrying about how your bills are going to be paid if you don't go to work. The type of freedom that allows you to be able to stay home on a day that you don't want to work. That type of freedom. Sounds impossible? It's not. Today I'm going to teach you how to build a debt-free life in America, specifically for immigrant families who wants to create freedom by breaking the cycle. When I first started this journey, I thought debt was unavoidable. I saw everyone around me with car payments, credit card bills, taking out loans as if it is a badge of honor. I start making small changes. Changes in regards to saving a little more per month, paying off my credit card every month, and thinking strategically before every purchase. And because of this, slowly the stress lifted and you start seeing the difference. When I feel like I'm in control or more in control of my life. And you know what the amazing thing is? It's not as hard as it seems. It's not. It is looking into the things that you're doing day to day. It's not always about making more money, which a lot of the times you need to make more money, or you can make more money to be financially stable. You don't have to if you don't want to. If you're comfortable where you're at, making what you're making, and you don't have any looming bills or anything like that, and you're fine, if you want, I would not recommend staying there, but that is your choice. But it wasn't complicated. It wasn't about earning more. It was more about making smarter choices and being intentional with your money. So it is more about making smarter choices and being intentional with your money. Step 1, start with your emergency fund. The first step to building a debt-free life is setting a safety net, which is your emergency fund. An emergency fund is money set aside for unexpected expenses. And that would be expenses such as a hospital stay, expenses such as an unexpected car breakdown or something like that, or even a sudden job loss. Anything that is unexpected, which you cannot cash flow, because if you can cash flow it, you don't need to touch that emergency fund. And why is an emergency fund important? It's because if something suddenly comes up, you don't have to be worrying about where that money is going to come from. You don't have to worry about taking out debt, taking out credit just to pay it off. No credit cards, no loans. You don't have to worry about those stuff. You already have that emergency fund in your account that you'll use instead of taking out a loan or taking out credit for something that you need the money for. And you can start small if you have to, because saving $25 a week or $50 a week, it does add up. It does. You can think of it as freedom money. It is not glamorous. For sure, it is not. But it is powerful. Mind you, this money is money that will be in your bank account. Generally, maybe a high heel savings bank account, and is making a little bit of interest. But it is somewhere where it is easily accessible but not too easy to access, like using a debit card attached to that account. So it should not be that easy to access. And if it is an emergency in regards to like a hospital stay, you don't need to get that money within 5 seconds or 10 minutes. Step 2 is to cut unnecessary expenses. Just as it is, cut unnecessary expenses. This is going into auditing your spending. A lot of families spend money on things that they do not need. They spend money on things that they don't even realize that they're spending money on, that is taking that much of their budget. They don't. And these include like subscriptions, eating out, and that's a big one because I love food. I love food, but that was something that I had to cut back on. Eating out. And it was hard. Mind you, it's gonna be hard. None of this is going to be easy. It's going to be hard. If it feels too easy, dig deeper. Dig deeper. It's not gonna be easy. I did not want to stop eating out. I lessen it even. I'm eating out maybe twice a month right now, and I'm not spending a lot those 2 times. I'm not. But it's hard. It's hard meal prepping. That's something that I do as well for work. It is hard meal prepping. It is hard when you see something that you want and you choose not to buy it because it's your choice, and you have to choose to do something that's gonna benefit you in the long run. So it's gonna be hard, and that's one of the major ones I think a lot of people will be looking into, eating out, because a lot of us do. And it is nice. It is nice to treat yourself sometimes, because in your budget you can have a spending fund depending on where you're at. It can be a small amount, $50 a month or something like that, that you can put towards spending on yourself any way you want to spend it. So it could be eating out. You want to spend your $50 on eating out, that's okay. If you want to spend your $50 on buying something from the store or buying clothes, it might not be expensive clothes, but you choose. And what you're going to do in cutting expenses is that you're going to make a list of your mandatory expenses. Expenses that you have to pay every month. Your rent, your light bill or electricity bill, if you want to call it that. Your water bill. So all your utilities, your phone bill, your gas, your insurance, all of the mandatory stuff that you need. You're going to make a list of those stuff and know how much you need to make per month to cover those stuff. And then you will look at what you're spending outside of your mandatory expenses. And then when you will look into stuff on the outside stuff that is not mandatory, you're gonna ask yourself, is this bringing me closer to freedom? Is this bringing me closer to freedom, or is it keeping me trapped? And then you can just cut or reduce what doesn't matter. There might be a lot of things that doesn't matter, and there might be a lot of things that does. If most of your money is going towards mandatory stuff and there is little to nothing going towards the outside stuff, the stuff that you choose to do, and you are still not having any money left over to save or anything that's important to you, you might need to get a side hustle, get a new job, try and improve yourself where people are paying you more every month. And this isn't about being trapped, or you have the money so you can spend it. It's not about living miserably. It is not. However, you have to choose your struggle. Are you going to choose short-term pleasure over long-term freedom and long-term gain? Which one do you choose? Step 3, tackle debt with focus. So if you have a lot of debt, any debt at all, this will help you. So you're going to tackle your debts, and you can use different methods to tackle your debts. You have the snowball method, which you pay off the lowest loan and continue until you reach the highest loan until everything is done. And then you have the avalanche method, which you pay off the highest interest first, and then it will save you money in the long run. However, looking at both method, with the avalanche method and the snowball method, I would recommend the snowball method, since it is more about the mindset that it will build. With the snowball method, you will be able to see the changes more quicker, and then it will give you that momentum, that psychological kick to keep going. With the avalanche method, it's depending on where you're at, how you think you will manage. If you think that saving more money will be best and you will be able to continue to go through that process, you can do that one. If you think that the snowball method would be best for you because of the momentum that it will bring, because you will see the changes, and that will help you to continue. At the end of all of this, the key to these methods is focus. Focus, focus, focus. You're gonna pick one debt, and then you're going to go all in until it's gone. And every time you eliminate a debt, you're going to build momentum, and that psychological kick will come in. You can even make it a race. If you know someone else, like, make it a challenge, guys. If you know someone else who is going through the same thing, they have a lot of debt as yourself, call them. Be like, we can do this. We can play this game. Who is going to get rid of which amount within a certain amount of time the fastest? How much can we complete within 4 months? Like, where will we be? Who is going to win that race? And try and compete with each other to build that momentum as well, to complete your debt, to pay off all of your debts. Step 4 is live below your means. And step 4 is a mindset shift as much as it is a financial shift. Don't fall into the trap of spending more as your money increases. Don't fall into the trap of spending more even if your money don't increase. That's something that we don't talk about. So we do spend more as our money increases, but we also spend more as we see others buying stuff and our money isn't even increasing. So that's even worse. It's even worse. Many immigrant family think because they're making more, they should spend more. Because they're getting more, they should, I guess, give more. But that's not the case. Because you're still going to be stuck in that cycle if you're making more and you're still spending more. You're still stuck in that cycle. Instead, what you're going to do is you're going to save more. You're going to invest more and put all that towards building wealth. Real freedom comes from control and not consumption. Real freedom comes from control and not consumption. Step 5 is that you're going to build for the future. Once you're debt free and stable, start building assets. These assets could be stocks. It could be, if you're into real estate, it could be actual buildings, houses. It could be investment properties that are for business use, right? So it depends. It could also go into education. And the goal is to make your money work for you instead of the other way around. And this is something that in the book that I read, Rich Dad Poor Dad, when the quote says, work smarter, not harder. That is something that I keep to date. Like, that is something I ensure I try to do every day. Work smarter, not harder. Making your money work for you is you working smarter, not harder. You working harder is not actually going to always bring you where you need to go. You only have 24 hours in the day. There is just so much that you can do within a day if you're just working hard. You still have to work smarter, which is building the assets, the stocks, the investments, the real estate, education. Work smarter, not just harder. Let me give you an example. A family lived modestly, avoided unnecessary debt, and saved intentionally while investing. And 10 years later, they're completely debt-free. They have an emergency fund and investments that are generating income. They don't have flashy cars or designer bags, but they have freedom. They have a peace of mind, and they have the option of choices to do whatever they want within their means. Then you're gonna contrast that with another family that went into debt. They went down the traditional path. That traditional path of big houses, finance cars, credit card bills, and they look successful. What you're not seeing is that debt, fear, and stress is ruling their life. You might not see that, but they know that. Which one would you rather to live? The truth is this: debt doesn't have to decide your family story. Debt does not have to define your family's story. You can break free. You can build financial security that lasts. So what we're going to do is that we're going to start small. We're going to follow the steps consistently and make intentional decisions with every dollar that you make. Because your family deserves freedom, they deserve peace, and they deserve opportunity. That path starts with you making a different choice today. You can be that building block for your family. If this video inspired you, subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification so you can be informed about additional tips and tricks that is going to help you build beyond where you're at this moment. Comment down below. Let me know in the comments which step you will be starting at, which step you will be trying. If you've already done it, comment down below and let me know your progress in that step, where you're at. And share this video with your family and friends, our community who needs to hear this message. And remember, financial freedom is not about luck. It's not just about your income or your status. It's about your choices, your mindset, and you making consistent actions. Your debt-free life starts now. The quote for today is that financial freedom isn't about having more, it's about needing less. And the Bible scripture is from Proverbs 22 verse 7, and it says that the rich rule over the poor and the borrower is slave to the lender.